Hey folks, welcome back to our Final Fantasy VI Pro Challenge playthrough. We are now at part 20. We finally hit 20 parts. You can look at that as a good or a bad thing, I really don't know. Alright, so where we pick up here, there's a couple things we're going to do. We will not be getting any new characters in this portion of the challenge, but we will be doing several things as far as taking down some of the existing dragons that are left to go. So we're basically making sure that we have all the right espers equipped, the right equipment, the right relics. We really don't need the wall rings, or do we? Think about that for a second. Alright, first things first, we're going to stop at the Opera House. And if you think back, I think we did mention that there may be a dragon in there, possibly? If I did, great. If not, guess what? Yes, there is a dragon in here. So the question is, which one is it? How difficult is it? And how do we take it down? Yes, it's right in the middle of the stage. So, we are going to go ahead and prepare to take it down. Go to the right side, far over here. Talk to the guy. You're going to hit this switch on the right, the third one. Now, before you do that, you will be fighting a dragon that likes to use earth-based spells like Quake or Magnitude 8, something like that. Make sure, before you go into this fight, ideally, that you have Cherub Down equipped, which is auto-float, or you can manually cast Float, which will be in effect when you hit the battle here. So the boss is a Dirt Dragon, 28,000 HP, which is fairly decent for a dragon at this stage. He will almost immediately always cast Quake, and ouch, look at that. I tell you what, if we had not power leveled earlier, that would have been a one-shot KO kill. So yeah, please, 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 do not even think about entering this fight unless you've got near 2,000 HP apiece. So, if you are not smart and come into this battle without float equipped, you run a risk of dying almost instantly. So, make sure you have at least 2 characters equipped with float that know both Vanish and X Zone if you want a very easy kill. So, luckily we had enough health to survive that. Vanish, X Zone, easy win, LOL. 10 magic points. Learning a whole bunch of interesting stuff. And we got the Magus Rod. So it's a rod, so clearly it's going to be used by Strago. 3 dragons left. Hell yeah. And that's really the only reason we came back here. That's it. Take care of the dragon and we're done. Alright, so we're done with that. Go ahead, leave the Opera House, heal yourself back up, and let's fly to the next portion of the World of Ruin here. Alright, now we're going to be going to a very critical juncture here. Is something that we've seen briefly when we were on foot, and this is the Fanatics Tower. Now, this is very important. If you think back to the actual playing card, I'll go ahead and pop it up here for a second. The normal challenge states we had to get to the Fanatics Tower and beat it without dying. Well, guess what? We are about to attempt that, and I feel pretty good about our chances right now. Before you go into the Fanatics Tower, you're going to equip Realm Only. Go ahead and land, and then enter the Fanatics Tower. And let's see who we got here. Ooh, Strago. It looks like he is running around. Yep, basically whenever Strago sees Realm, he jumps to his senses automatically. They have a little finagling, chatter back and forth. And yeah, basically that's all it took. You just have to have Realm in your party and you get Strago back. Very simple. Now fortunately, again, Strago is a very powerful magic user. Unfortunately, Strago has no magic spells. And we are nowhere near ready to use him right now, so we will not be taking him up the Fanatics Tower. Realm is the strongest magic user in the game, but she has virtually no magic learned yet, so it's kind of pointless to do that. We really only did that to get Strago into our party, and that's it. So, go ahead and get your power party back. You definitely want to have Mog in your party here, because we will be using and abusing the Moogle Charm to climb all the way up to the top of the tower, without having a single fight, save maybe 1 or 2. By the way, take a look at that GP total. 500,000 GP, in case you haven't really been paying attention to that. All that power leveling has not been for nothing. We can really, at this point, buy anything that we want. We don't really have to worry about selling anything ever again. You can buy 99 of almost anything you want, in terms of items anyway. So if you want to buy a whole bunch of Phoenix Downs, potions, ethers, Ninja Stars, have at it. Feel free. There's nothing that you can't buy with that much GP, so go for it. With Mog, we're getting the Moogle Charm and the Sprint Shoes. Honestly, it doesn't matter too much. Just make sure that he has the Moogle Charm, And one more thing to worry about here. When you go into the Fanatics Tower, you will be locked into only using magic attacks. So remember how I've been saying way back when every single character has to have the wall ring? This is the time when you finally get to equip them. So, if you have not already done so, make sure you come in here with 4 wall rings for all 4 characters. Go ahead, put them on, make sure that they're fully equipped, ready to climb the tower. Oh, by the way, over here, you got 4 or 3 little doofuses. You can talk to them. This guy right in the middle, check this out. He offers to give you a hint for 100,000 GP. If you are insane, you might do that. We're not. We're not going to. Basically, he tells you about how to find a couple different things, which we've already done, honestly, so don't bother wasting your time. Now is the time. Get those wall rings on every single person. And when you're finally ready to go, we're going to ascend this tower all the way to the top. We're going to get the treasure up there. We're going to speed all the way back down. But the question is, what's up there? What makes this so tough? What makes this worthy of even the normal difficulty challenge? Well, looks like we're finally ready to go. So let's ascend this tower. And let's see what it's all about. Making one last thing here. Okay, so before we go up there, it would probably be beneficial to make sure that we are at full health and full MP. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Go ahead, use a tent. I'm sure you probably got a couple at this point, so use that tent. Finally ready to go. Go back into the tower and start that long, long climb. Here we go. Alright, I really hope that you came with the Moogle Charm equipped, because if you didn't, you're going to be going up this tower facing some very difficult magic encounters. Remember, physical attacks are banned, right? Now, a couple things here. We're going to get some treasure chests on every screen on the way up. We get the safety bit, which was going to, it says protect from mortal magic attacks. I find that it doesn't protect from jack, so I never use it. So, with that being said, we're going to go into fanatical speed all the way up here because it's nothing but the same thing the whole way up. Genji's shield. If we haven't got one of those already, clearly you could tell it's amazing. It's the best shield in the game, and you can get it at least a couple times if I'm not mistaken. So, equip it on Edgar or Sabin, one of the two, and keep on ascending all the way up. Usually I will put that on Edgar, because Sabin should already have something equivalent. So we keep on moving up. Very, very thankful we have what we do. Ooh, there's a dragon. Stunner. Now, what is the stunner, you say? Well, that is a dagger equipable by Shadow only. It will randomly cast Stop. I'd personally rather use Striker. Now, here comes the next dragon. This is number 6, I believe. This is the White Dragon. As you might expect, it is a Pearl-using dragon. Now, fortunately, we have wall rings equipped on all 4 of our characters, so anytime it casts Pearl, it is automatically reflected back to the dragon. No damage dealt to us, right? The only problem with that is that Pearl heals this dragon, so it's basically an auto heal spell, deflected, reflected back onto the dragon. Whatever, I really don't care. Now you notice how it will also sometimes attempt to cast Dispel. That would be problematic if we had temporary spells cast upon us, but since we're using the wall rings, they are permanent spells that cannot ever be dispelled unless we take the relic off, and obviously that will never be happening as long as we are in this tower. So, Banished X Zone, LOL win for the 6th time against 6 dragons. 10 points, and what do we get? Is that all we got? Pearl Lance. This is one of the best lances in the entire game, if not the best. And we're going to put it onto Mog just to show you what it does. Look at the difference in power. 61, 60, 55. Anyway, it's a hell of a lot of power. Put it on Mog. Going to go up the Fanatic Tower, and that can randomly cast Pearl, by the way. Very, very, very powerful spear lance that we got. Force armor, very good to use against high magic users, such as the ones in this tower. When we get to the top, what do we get? Gem Box. This is one of the best relics in the game, in my personal opinion. Changes magic into X magic. You can now use a spell multiple times, twice if I'm not mistaken. So, please take advantage of it. I know I certainly will. So we're done, right? We just beat the normal challenge. Oh, nah, it's not quite that easy. In fact, it's anywhere close, not even close to that easy. Wait until you see what we have to do to get off of this stupid tower. Return it now? Nah, I kind of like this treasure. I'm not returning it. So, how do we get out of here? We're stuck, right? We have to fight all these guys at once. Ooh, no, we're going to have to fight this thing. But what is it? It's a ghost? Is it the one like from the Phantom Train? Is it just going to try to possess us? What is it? It's not quite that simple, as I said. Alright, this is a boss. It is called the Magi or the Magic Master. 50,000 HP. You can use magic against it all you want. You can try. The problem with using magic against the Magic Master, not only do you have no choice, but anytime you use magic against them, it will usually cast Wall Change, which will randomly change it to a different weakness element here. The problem is, if you have the wall rings equipped, which of course you should, any spell that it casts against you is automatically reflected back upon it, and it will heal most times the spell that it uses. So there's only one way to stop this, aside from getting extremely lucky. You need to cast Berserk on it, which is what we've already done, in case you haven't been paying attention. When you cast Berserk, it prevents him from using any magic. In fact, he will go ahead and use physical spells. Now, notice what we're doing. We're using the scan spell. You need to be very, very careful to keep track of this boss's HP total at all times. The reason why is because when you get to the very end, he will cast a spell that you've never seen before, and it is almost always guaranteed to wipe out the entire party, unless you have power leveled to levels completely ridiculously insane for this point in the game. So how do we get around that? Well, we're about to see. We're going to continue to use scan, and when we get him down to about, I don't know, 15, 20,000 HP, then we're going to play cautiously and play to win. Right now, we're just chipping away at his health, dealing massive damage with Ice 3. Right now, that's what he's weak to, so we're going to continue casting Ice 3, Ice 2, whatever our characters have. When we get them down to about the 15,000 HP mark, we are going to use Life 3, which is it's an auto-resurrect spell. And the reason we're going to use that is because, as I said, at the very end, he's going to use a magic spell that will 99.9% of the time outright kill everyone in your party. And I think this is about time to do it. Yep, we're going to go ahead and start casting Life 3, the resurrection spell. We're going to put it on at least one character. You don't have to put it on everybody, but certainly at least one. Try to put it on as many as you can, because you will get massive rewards for defeating this boss here, in terms of magic points at least. So continue to deal damage. As long as at least one person has the Life 3 spell equipped, you will be fine. So here we're pretty much good to go. Unfortunately, Mog doesn't have the Ice 3 spell. He's got level 2 magic and bio, which is still pretty good. Does a lot of damage over time. And I think this is just about going to do it here. So here we go. Nope. We're going to do one more resurrection spell. Terra can certainly use some of that MP bonus. And I think this is just about going to do it after Terra casts the Ice 3 spell. Let's take a peek. Is that enough? Ooh, here it is. Ultima. The ultimate spell. Wow. Damn it. You didn't really think the challenge was over yet, did you? No. We're not throwing away 20 parts of this video for nothing. Well, we can officially say that we've beaten the normal challenge now. So, that's cool and all. Unfortunately, the name of this channel is not the Nintendo Super Power Club Normal Challenge channel. It is the Pro Challenge channel. So, we've gotten the Fanatics Tower done, gone, and out of the way. But the ultimate challenge is still left to go, and we are getting very, very close. We've gotten just about everybody back in the party that we could possibly want, with the exception of, what, two people, I think? We're almost ready to make that drop into Kefka's Tower. Clearly we're not yet, but we are very, very close. We're doing very well right now. So we're going to get everybody back up to speed, get our main normal attack party in here, and one thing we're going to do now is get Cyan in there. So I mentioned at the end of part 19, we were going to get Cyan's sword tech skills up, and sure enough, that's exactly what we're going to do right now. So we're going to put Sabin, Terra, Mog in there for the Moogle Charm, of course, and Cyan is our fourth party member because it's mandatory. We have to use him. Now, obviously, a problem is that we haven't used him since the World of Balance, and really even halfway through the World of Balance. We didn't really have to use him at all. So, we're going to make sure that we have basic equipment on him. We really won't even be using him at all. There's not going to be a single fight sequence where we use him, period. So, really, you could just leave him naked for all I care. And I think we're ready to go. Get all of the stuff that you need to have on him. You could equip him with espers and stuff, but again, it's pointless. You will not be using him in any sense. Only reason we're doing this is to get his sword tech skills all the way up to maximum. So let's go ahead and move into hyperdrive, get everything up where we need to be with the equipment, and we will see you as we assault Doma's castle. you know, honestly, looking back on this, doing anything with Cyan, as I've said, is a complete waste of time. Just getting his any equipment on him, relics, it's pointless because you're not going to be getting any experience on him. So, whatever, it is what it is. But it will be nice to have these sword tech skills completely mastered and fully leveled up when we get into Kefka's Tower here, because we may be utilizing him at some point against some bosses here. Alright, now, we are into Doma Castle. There's only one thing we got to worry about here. We need to go to a resting point, and unfortunately we didn't do that there. So we're going to go into the door in the bottom right, first floor right here. As soon as you get in there, take the first door on the left, and then go in here and rest all 4 of your party members. Kind of nice, because all of them will get back to full health and MP, just in case they aren't already. Now, we're going to awake from slumber here, and basically everybody except for Cyan is going to wake up. And there's a reason for that. We're about to see something quite interesting happen here. We try to wake him up, and we got the cheesy gong music going on here. What in the world is this? 3 little kids? Huh? Curly, Larry, Moe. Ah, the 3 Stooges. As infants? Ah, the 3 Dream Stooges. Okay. By the way, 3 Stooges trivia. There were actually 6 Stooges. Curly, Larry, Moe, Shemp, Joe, and Curly Joe. Alright, now that I've nerded myself out there a little bit. Alright, we are into the dream sequence here. You're going to see all 3 of the characters that we brought, except for Cyan, are passed out, and we need to reacquire and reassemble them before we take on the Dream Stooges, all 3 together here. So you have some options. You can go ahead and take out the enemies as you please, or you can just flee from everything. Now, if you awaken in the dream world with Mog, it's very simple because you have the Moogle Charm equipped. You don't have to worry about these fights. Basically, we're going to show you the path to go here. There's 2 paths you have to worry about before getting to the exit here. So we have everything we need. Make sure you get the sprint shoes equipped on whoever you got up first. And anytime you get multiple fighters here, you could fight them, or you could flee. Honestly, the dream sequence enemies are not that tough because we're pretty fairly leveled right now. The bosses we're about to face aren't as tricky as you might think, although you still got to take them seriously for strategy purposes. And Imp is kind of annoying. They're not going to outright kill you with that, but clearly you want to make sure you get that healed and cleansed as quickly as possible. Incidentally, we do have the Imp halberd sword, or excuse me, spear. And if you have the full set of Imp stuff equipped, you can still do hefty damage as an Imp. Not that we're really going to do that. It's kind of pointless for what we're doing. Don't want to take any chances. Alright, we get Mog back, thankfully, and now the Moogle Charm is fully equipped. We're going to make sure that we are fully healed up, just in case we aren't already. We're going to go ahead, keep on moving, and find our 3rd character. Before we continue on, there is Sabin right over there. We'll definitely need him. Now, you don't want to go left. You want to go back in this door here. Because if you go in that door there, it's going to lead you to the Dream Stooges. And you can't fight the Dream Stooges yet until you have all 3 of your party members, not counting Cyan, of course. Alright, so there's the 3rd path, and we've got our 3rd party member, Sabin, in this case. Alright, now we're going to go out this door right here, the only door we can go. Go through the door at the top. Go through the door on the right. Actually, left would have been fine too, not that it matters. Okay, go through this door here on the far left. You're going to go down these steps and into that door right there. Make sure that you're fully healed, ready to go. All your relics, armor, all that lovely stuff is fully equipped. Because we're about to fight the 3 Dream Stooges here. Now, I will tell you, when you start this fight, you need to take one of them out as quickly as you possibly can, or you will be in for a world of pain and frustration. So here they are, the 3 Dream Stooges, Curly, Larry, and Moe. They have relatively low HP for this point in the game and what we're used to. The one that you want to focus on is the one on the top, who I believe is Curly. The reason why is because if you try to take out any of the, damn, 7,800 HP on a bum rush. I'm telling you, we're almost there. And check that out. Fire 2 did like 0 damage to all 3 of our characters, basically. Anyway, what was I saying? Curly. Take out Curly immediately, as fast as you can. Because if you try to take out the other 2, Larry and Moe, Curly will almost instantly revive them. So, take out Curly quickly. There it is, 9999. We finally got it. Hell yeah. 10,000 damage on a single attack. We can say we pulled it off finally. So, get rid of Curly. Now you can focus on the other 2 here. Don't use ice on the one on the far back, by the way. In case you saw, it does heal it. Alright, now the reason... There's actually a couple reasons you want to get Curly out of there quickly. Not only can he revive the other 2, but if all 3 Stooges are alive long enough, they will use their Tri-Hit Delta attack, which will instantly turn a player to stone. And the problem with that is that you have to constantly worry about unstoning them, or softening them up. And every time you got to worry about that, it's damage that's being taken away that you can't inflict on the other characters here. So, once again, take out the top stooge as quickly as you can, and then focus on the other two. Really shouldn't be that tough. As I said, their HP totals are not anywhere near, close to near what we're used to facing at this point in the game. So they should go down fairly easily, as long as you take out the top stooge first. And I believe this is going to do it right here. This might be an Ice 2 counter hit. Sure was. He's a joke for this point in the game. Alright, so that takes care of this. The Dream Stooges are gone, so we get signed back, right? Well, let's heal up, walk through the door, let's go get them. Walk on through, and what's happening here? Whoa, the Phantom Train, what's going on here? Well, the good thing is, I should say the bad thing, there are random encounters. The good thing, we don't have to worry about them, because we got Mog here with the Moogle Charm. Hell yeah. Alright, and ooh. Interesting stuff going on here. There's Cyan, and what's going on? He's being chased by some ghosts. So is he having some dreams back to what happened here? Oh, now this right here. Flip this switch once, flip it twice. There is a chest with the Genji glove in there. And yes, I know we've already got a couple of them, but it never hurts to have more than one for twice the damage. So that's an easy chest to miss. A lot of players tend to forget about that, or not forget about it, just completely not even try for it because it's blocked by a hole. Very easy to get. Hit that switch twice. Now right here, no matter where you go, no matter what you try to do, you're not getting past that chest. You have to open this chest on the far left over here. Gives you a lump of metal. Put it inside the open chest. It will stay in place. You can walk right past it and get the flame shield, which we've already got a couple of these. Memorize the position of the chests here. Whatever it is, doesn't really matter. Just memorize the position and then continue on to the left. And you'll see why. That's important because you won't get past a far section without doing that. Now, this is a very annoying section of the train here. This is a train switch puzzle. Don't forget that chest down there. Open all the chests that you can, and basically just keep playing around with all these switches here. Just keep hitting them, hitting them, hitting them, until you get to a point where you can slip past the couches and the boxes down here. It's going to take a little trial and error, but with patience, you will get past it. Just keep on flipping and flipping and flipping. I promise it's worth it. Keep on playing around. It can be done. And I think that's what we need right there. Yes, we are all good to go. Gonna slip on past. Whoops, we actually shouldn't have flipped that one. We had it, actually. We flipped one too many switches. Oh, don't do it. Go back. If I could go back in time and tell my former self not to do that, I really wish I could. All right, now we got one more switch we got to flip, and that's not it. We got to flip the one right over there. And boom, now we're good. Okay, walk past everything on the bottom. All right, now I hope you were paying attention and remembered the order of the switches here. Otherwise, you're going to be wasting time flipping every single treasure chest here. I believe that was it. Flip it, and yes, it was. Walk on through to the next part of the train. Here we go, right in here. Save point if you need it. We don't. We're going to keep on moving by. All right, here's the train engine. There's no switch up there. Don't bother. If you're thinking back to the Phantom Train first encounter. Now, you could try to read over there. There's nothing there. So just keep on flipping all the switches until eventually you will find the right combination. I honestly can't remember what the combination was, but keep on flipping. You'll find it eventually, and then you can leave. Are we finally done? Do we get signed back now? Nope. Oh, we're back in Narsh now. Or at least it looks like it. Back into the cave. Back in the Magitech armor. What in the world's going on here? Yeah, I know. I'm thinking the same thing there, Mog. Oh, there's Cyan. Clearly in a dream sequence. We don't know what's going on. He's lost. We're lost. Just want to get the hell out of here. And he's being chased by wizards or soldiers. What's going on? All right, so we're going to keep running around here until we keep running and go back into the cave. Going to keep on running up some steps through some more caves. Again, very helpful to have Mog here. You're going to avoid all these random encounters. Now, this looks like the exact same thing that we had the last time, doesn't it? And sure enough, it is. So the moment you notice this, you're going to retreat, and then it will take you to a different section here. So we're going to go across the bridge. It's going to break and fall. That's never a good thing. Hopefully we didn't just die right there. Obviously we didn't. All right, and we're going to semi-awaken inside of Doma Castle here, where we rested the last time. And now we have Cyan's wife and his son, Owain, right there. We're in his soul. Yes, we are, in case you haven't figured this out by now. We're going to go ahead and skip through this little cutscene here. It's a good cutscene that tells you more about his story, but we're not going to watch it right now. So, as always, make sure that you're fully healed up, back to where you need to be. Going to go ahead and leave this room. And we're going to go back to the main portion of the Doma Castle here. There's really nothing to worry about obtaining right now. You could walk around. Like I said, there's nothing in here. Go back out. Go back to the main castle corridor, and we're going to go to the throne room. And we are going to encounter, hopefully, Cyan. Now, this is one place that you could go for story, which unfortunately I did. In a run like this, it's kind of pointless because you should know where you're going. Unfortunately, it's been a while, so that's a story that you could listen to. Alright, now here's Cyan. That's his actual body, and we encounter a wizard here named Rexsoul. So Rexsoul is the wizard or enemy that is controlling his soul and taking control of it. And obviously, if we want to get Cyan back in any form or capacity, we're going to have to fight him right about now. So, here we are. This is Rexsoul. He is the boss with 23,000 HP. He is definitely weak to ice. And here, we are going to have a very annoying boss fight right now. So the way that this fight works, you're going to see he's going to cast an attack called Zinger, and that's basically going to put him inside of one of your characters. He's going to possess the character. Now what this means is that the only way to get Rexsoul to reappear is to, unfortunately, have that possessed character die. So, you can have it happen one of two ways. You can let one of his little minion soul savers do the deed and knock him off, or you can take the option that I've chosen, which is to intentionally off one of your characters. Now, if you choose to do that, you need to be very careful, and I would say probably use physical attacks. Magic obviously would work, it could work, but you got to remember that some characters probably have immunities on, like the Fire Shield, Ice Shield, and if you do that, you're just wasting your time. So also, something you probably noticed here, I've had Mog use the Wind Song, which obviously from time to time will cast Sunbath, which is going completely against everything I'm trying to do here. So I'm being very counteractive here. I'm caught in an endless loop of fighting enemies that will continually revive. You can't kill the Soul Savers. Every time you do, they will come back. So I'm just wasting time waiting for the possessed character to go down right now. So, unfortunately, because I did not properly think about this, you're going to be seeing a lot of wasted time here, much like we did back in the encounter with that painting in Owzer's mansion here. So, for that reason, I'm going to go ahead and speed through most of the entirety of this fight here. But bear in mind that once Rexsoul does reappear, you can simply just cast Ice on him over and over, preferably Ice 3 to make the fight go quicker. Now, something else to consider. Once your character goes down, you should probably revive that character instantaneously, immediately, because even though this is a relatively easy boss fight from a damage perspective, if you don't take it seriously, they can still take you down. This fight can still end your run. So, once again, as soon as the offed character goes down, bring them back to life, and then focus on doing damage to Rexsoul here. This battle will take you a little bit of time, even with proper preparation. And oh, by the way, if you're thinking of doing the standard Vanish X Zone, it ain't gonna work. I've already tried it. It doesn't work, so don't waste your time. Now, there we go. Mog goes down, Rexsoul reappears. So, once again, you have the option of fighting him, or what you should probably do is bring him back. Now, bear in mind, take a look at what's happening here. Those Soul Savers are casting Reflect on themselves. So what that means is that you got to be very careful not to cast hit-all magic attacks on everybody, because at least 2 of them will get reflected back. So we've taken the option of trying to attack Rexsoul, which I guess you could do. So look, we're going to do X Zone here, just to prove that it doesn't work. Here's the Vanish. Yeah, he's immune to it. So you can try X Zone, but obviously if it's not vanished, it ain't going to matter. It did take out one of the Soul Savers, but again, it's pointless. Yeah. Didn't work the first time, it ain't going to work the second time, so very pointless. Do not waste your time. Fight him the hard way, fight him the long way. It will take a while, but you will get the job done. So, it's a very long fight. You're going to see a lot of the exact same stuff for quite a while, unfortunately. So, let's go ahead and speed through the rest of this, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Well, that took long enough. There's about 10 minutes of my life I'll never get back fighting a ridiculously stupid boss. We finally took him down. There we go. Rex Soul and your 2 Soul Savers gone out of the way. Thankfully, we'll never see him again. Now, you're probably wondering, what do we get for all that pain and suffering and frustration? A pod bracelet. Now, don't get me wrong, the pod bracelet is not a bad relic, but at the same time, it's not something that we have to complete the game. And in comparison to the other relics, it's really not that impressive, honestly. I mean, use it if you want to. We can show it to you a little bit later, maybe in the next part of the challenge, but it's not something that we really had to have. So we come out of there, we're back into Cyan's soul, Cyan's dream, and his family turns into tears, basically. Ooh, a sword. We're going to go ahead and pick up the sword. Always on your side, literally, in physical form, right? So we could pick him up, and ooh, looky up there, a piece of magicite. We could get it, but not in the dream sequence. We will get that magicite later. All right, so finally, at long last, we come out of Cyan's soul, out of his dream. We are out of there, and yes, we know they live on. Let's get rid of the sappy mush. Yeah, leave him behind, please. Let's move on. Let's complete this challenge already. Let's beat this game. Cleared itself all doubt and confusion. Finally, all of his sword tech skills are up to the top. Now, just in case you've never seen them before, because we've actually never used the sword tech outside of the first couple, there they are. I would say, looking at all 8 of these, number 7 and probably number 7 is the best one, the Quadra Slam, Quadra Slice. It hits 4 enemies with a sword slice for massive damage. The 8th one is the Cleave, which is very much like the chainsaw. It will insta-kill any enemy that it hits, but the problem is, oftentimes it will miss, so that's why I don't use it very often. Now, the Magicite we just picked up is Alexander, and the reason it's one that you want to get is it's one of the only Magicites, in fact, I think it is the only one, where you learn Pearl. Pearl, of course, is the holy-based attack, and for late in the game, that's a very awesome spell to have. So you learn it at decent speed, 2x, which is okay compared to the other high-level spells of 1x. So definitely make sure you get it, equip it on whoever you want, and I think at this point, we're good. We have everything we need out of this castle. We only really came here for, you could say, the Magicite, because honestly, we're not going to be using Cyan outside of this, the final dungeon ever. So that's over and done with, and guess what, guys? We've only got one little other side quest to worry about before we go into Kefka's Tower, but that's for the next part. So thanks, guys, for watching. We will do some offline power leveling for Cyan, and we will see you in part 21.